Came across this short clip on Twitter. I don't know who the interviewer is, but one of those that he's interviewing has a U.S. Secret Service polo shirt on, and the other one seems to be some sort of politician. And their views on permitless carry are Loco. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With cold, blunt analysis cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnny Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's time for the Johnny Walker Dread Show.
Now, for all you wusses out there that don't like me stopping the video to add my commentary, I'll put a link to the original source so that you can gather your friends around, watch the video, and not be interrupted by me. But here goes.
They saw a guy with a rifle. That should be good enough, shouldn't it, to scream,
Not in the state of Pennsylvania, Harvey. You're in an open carry state, allowed to carry a gun outside of a secure spot inside of a zone and walk around.
Why does the shooter have to literally get to the point of pointing the gun at the former president before they realize it's a threat?
You want me to just shoot him because he's got a gun?
No one even said anything about shooting him, but this officer is so politically primed to attack permitless carry that he jumps right on it. Don't believe me? Let's go back.
That should be good enough, shouldn't it, to scream,
Not in the state of Pennsylvania.
Notice that the interviewer had just got out the word screamed, implying that he was really only asking the SS to yell at the shooter before the federale blurted out his sensitivities about permitless carry. But permitless carry isn't an issue here. If Pennsylvania didn't have permitless carry, it wouldn't change anything. Simply having a gun out in the open wouldn't justify shooting that person, permitless carry or not. Whether or not the shooter was within the security zone is not going to play any role at all either.
If there's a gun and a guy on a roof and he's not a police officer, to me, the common sense thing is scream, get Trump on the ground or get Trump out of here now. That's what I would think somebody would scream. It just seems common sense to me.
But I think in the world of safety and protection, you have to take in a lot of stuff, digest it, and assess it in seconds or a fraction of that and make a decision.
Yeah, that's the officer's job. I mean, you can't expect us to make split-second decisions. That's what you're trained to do. And in fact, I thought before I saw this clip that Secret Service officers like you were trained more in this area than any other cop. Okay, we're going to hear from another one on the topic from the same interview. Although she doesn't mention permitless carry by name, it's pretty clear that the right to carry a gun in public is the burr under her saddle.
How do I know factually, intentionally, what you are getting ready to do?
It's not hard. You put your sights on him, and if he makes any threatening move, you plant his brains in West Virginia.
I don't. If you had killed that potential shooter, because that's what it would have been at that time, then you can be able to stand up in court and not be crucified and sent off to jail for a murder, not an attempt, a murder, because you have no proof that that was what he was getting ready to do.
You don't need proof. I don't know who she is, but she evidently skipped Criminal Law 101 to take, I don't know, something useless. No state that I know requires proof to claim the protection of others' affirmative defense. You just have to, 1, fear that someone else will receive serious bodily injury if you don't act with lethal force, and 2, that your fear was reasonable given the circumstances. A Secret Service protectee on a public stage, a man on a rooftop within easy shooting distance to the protectee, carrying a scary assault weapon. I hate guns. That affirmative defense is going to hold. Above all, permitless carry has nothing to do with it.
Was it a failure? No. I understand the tragedies that occurred at that site with somebody dying and losing their life and the injuries, but a protectee of the United States Secret Service is alive. At the end of the day, that's a win.
At the end of the day, it's a win. You have got to be kidding. Notice how callous he is. Yeah, some insignificant peasant died and 2 other peons were critically injured, but our protectee stayed alive. So we did a great job. For the record, his statement violates every principle of quality control. The idea that because someone survives a shooting, then the cops must have done a great job is absurd.
I'm crazy. I'm the loco one.
Quality control is all about improving inputs, those things that you do to protect your charges, to produce a high quality output. No one gets hurt. The U.S. Secret Service failed on both the input and output side. They didn't do those things they should have done, and once crooks opened fire, 1 man lay dead and 2 others were nearly killed. And he calls that a success? Keep in mind that Trump was only saved by a last-second head turn. So in this man's eyes, sheer luck is a perfectly good input to rely on in quality control. I mean, wow. Just wow. So I've had a little time to reflect on what I heard, and I'm even more disturbed. First of all, the notion that they had to make a split-second decision seems rather odd, given that the threat was identified, 30 minutes prior? The bigger problem I see is that with these rules of engagement, how safe are their protectees? I mean, somebody has to actually be pointing the rifle and ready to shoot at me before they'll take action? Before they'll do anything? I don't know. Sounds pretty shaky to me. My next video will be the first in a series on the physics of firearms. So if you want to know the science behind guns, and I mean real science and not just sciencey talk, be sure to subscribe to my channel. And how about liking this video? That helps too.